All right, let's get back into it. We're talking Xavier Watts and Jack Nelson, two dudes who could quietly shape the Falcons' future. Section 1. Xavier Watts, the next big safety in ATL. Let me tell you something. Watts has it. The instincts, the football smarts, the nose for the ball, you can't teach that, just like you can't coach speed. But let's be real. Track stars flame out all the time in the NFL. Watts? He's not just speed. He's got vision, range, and attitude. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's starting next to Jesse Bates by week 1. Now, for now, the safe move is to pencil in Jordan Fuller. The vet knows Raheem Morris's defense, played under him in LA. That makes sense. But by week 1, week 2, preseason week 3, I bet we see a flip. And when it flips, it ain't flipping back, because Watts is that dude. Section 2. Why Watts plus Bates could be a nasty safety duo. Bates has 2 years left on his contract, and yeah, I think he'll get extended. But the man's heading toward his 30s. He's in his prime right now, and what better time to pair him with a young, hungry version of himself? That's what Watts feels like. A younger Bates with that Irish toughness and 2 All-American seasons behind him. That's a win-win. That's how you build secondaries that hit and stick. Section 3. Jack Nelson, Atlanta's 318-pound wild card. Now let's talk about a dude who's barely gotten any airtime. Jack Nelson, 7th rounder, Wisconsin, massive, 6'7", 318 pounds. That's first percentile size, my friends. He's not just big, he's freaky big. Came out as a 4-star recruit, stayed in state, played 37 games at left tackle, another 13 at right guard. But here's the kicker. He says he's built to play right tackle. And guess what? That's exactly what Atlanta needs. Section 4. Why Jack Nelson actually makes sense. Caleb McGarry is a solid tackle. But let's keep it real. He's a run-first tackle. And that's not ideal when your quarterback is left-handed like Michael Penix Jr. You want your best pass blocker on the right, protecting the blind side. That ain't McGarry. So what do? You don't flip Jake Matthews to the other side. Dude's been a left tackle his whole life. He's a vet. You don't mess with that rhythm this late in his career. You ride out McGarry's final contract year, and you let Nelson develop, quietly, steadily, learn right tackle, get up to NFL speed, adjust to the mirror side of the O-line. Then next offseason, you don't say we're starting from scratch. You say we already got a guy. Section 5. 7th rounder? Maybe, but don't sleep on this dude. Look, I know. We're in minute 14 of a Falcons YouTube video on May 20th. The casual fans? Gone. But you're here because you care about the trenches, the depth, the development, the stuff that wins games in December. Nelson might be a 7th rounder, but he could be the bridge to life after McGarry. And that matters. Section 6. My favorite pick? It might be Watts. Now, if I had to pick just one, Xavier Watts might be the best value pick in this draft. Walker might end up being the star, but Watts? He's the guy that sneaks up on everyone and suddenly becomes a staple of your defense. Sneaky good, but not for long. Section 7. 2 claps for the real ones. Let's wrap this up like we do. Look, Falcons fans, the clock is ticking. This isn't the era of slow development and waiting for 2 or 3 years. No more rebuilding excuses. This 5-man draft class, it's not about how many guys they took. It's about the star power packed into those picks. Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris, they might have just pulled off one of the smartest drafts we've seen in a long time. Jalen Walker, James Pierce, Xavier Watts, they're not just potential starters. They're probable starters. No ifs, no buts. These are foundational pieces, the kind of guys you want locked in right from the jump, especially when you only have 5 picks to work with. Section 5. Squeezing maximum value. Zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture. It's honestly kind of shocking how much value Atlanta squeezed out of this draft. Sure, it's not loaded with flashy first-round picks or a massive haul of selections, but what it does have? Experience, readiness, a roster infusion that screams instant impact. If this group pans out even half as well as the projections say, we could be looking at one of the best draft classes Atlanta's seen in the 21st century. Yeah, I said it. And before the keyboard warriors jump in with skepticism, take a stroll down Falcons draft memory lane. Ask yourself, when was the last time a class this efficient showed up? Section 6. Meet the game changers. Need proof? Look no further than Jalen Walker, linebacker out of Georgia. National championship pedigree, battle-tested in the SEC, one of the toughest leagues in college football. This guy's been through fire. Then James Pierce, a defensive end from Tennessee, with all the tools to be a future cornerstone pass rusher. You want pressure? He's built to bring it. And oh man, Xavier Watts, the safety from Notre Dame, he might be the biggest steal of the draft. Two-time All-American, winner of the Bronco Nagurski Award, team captain for the Fighting Irish. This is no developmental project. This is a guy who could be starting week 1 alongside Jesse Bates III. Section 7. Secondary that could explode. Now, Jordan Fuller's experience in Raheem Morris's system in LA gives him the edge right now, but trust me, by week 1 or week 2, maybe even in preseason, Xavier Watts could snatch that starting spot. His instincts? Off the charts. He's not the fastest or the biggest, but his football IQ, elite level. Pair that brain power with a veteran like Bates, and Falcons fans, brace yourselves. The playmaking potential in that secondary is something to get genuinely giddy about. Section 8. The sleeper pick who's a mountain. And we're not done. Don't overlook Jack Nelson. 7th round pick? Yeah. But this ain't your typical late round flyer. This dude is a mountain. 6 feet 7 inches, 318 pounds, with 37 starts at left tackle and 13 at right guard from Wisconsin. That's experience and size rolled into one big, powerful package. This guy could be a secret weapon protecting the quarterback's blind side before you know it. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Jack Nelson? He believes his best spot is at right tackle. Why does that matter? Because Michael Penn Jr. is a left-handed quarterback. Translation: the right tackle protects his blind side. And guess what? The current right tackle, Caleb McGarry, he's a run-first guy. Not exactly what you want guarding a lefty's blind spot when it comes to pass protection. And before anyone shouts, flip Jake Matthews from left to right tackle. Stop right there. Jake's been a left tackle his entire career, from Texas A&M to the NFL. That's muscle memory that doesn't just switch overnight. So snagging Nelson late in the draft, that could be a quiet masterstroke. Let him develop behind McGarry for a year, get comfortable in the NFL system, and next offseason, the Falcons won't have to scramble in free agency or overpay for a right tackle. The pipeline's already built. Section 10. This draft is bigger than it looks. And all this savvy roster building. It comes from a draft class that at first glance, some wrote off because it was only 5 players deep. But when you dig into the data, average experience, perfect positional fits, leadership traits, it tells a completely different story. This wasn't just a good draft. This could be a defining draft for the next era of Falcons football. Section 11. Your turn. What do you think? All right, I gotta hand it over to you. What's your take on this draft class? Do you think the Falcons front office nailed it? Are you as bullish as I am on guys like Xavier Watts and Jack Nelson? Drop your thoughts below. Let's get that conversation going. Section 12. The unsung hero, Billy Bowman's versatility. And while everyone's naturally buzzing about Walker, Pierce, and Watts, don't sleep on Billy Bowman. This guy isn't just depth. He's a Swiss Army knife for the secondary. A 4-year player out of Oklahoma, Bowman can line up anywhere, from nickel to safety, even stepping up in the box. His football IQ mixed with his athleticism means Raheem Morris has a chess piece that can move wherever the matchup demands. Imagine what that does for the defense. Disguised coverages, aggressive blitz packages, the ability to adapt on the fly. That's the kind of versatility playoff teams crave. Section 13. The turning point. Step back and realize this draft class isn't just filling holes. It's laying the foundation for years of Falcons football to come. This could be the turning point. The moment the Falcons flip the script and start their next chapter as a real contender.